Good afternoon, live from Toronto on the GBKM network. This is the Chat Up Show, the show where we chat about any and everything to do with popular culture. I'm your host, Elizabeth Aloyde, and I hope that you are ready to chat it up with me today. Now, as always, you can keep up with the GBKM network in various ways. You can listen live 24/7 at www.gbkm.fm. You can watch live, you can like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that fun stuff on Facebook and YouTube at GBKM TV. You can follow us on Instagram at GBKMFM and Twitter at GBKM_FM. Now, I'd also like to say thank you to our Chat Up Show sponsor, Coded Signature, which is a Nigerian-owned local brand that offers various Afrocentric apparel and accessories. And it's all about infusing African culture and history into apparel. Now, we know that the brand was founded or officially established in 2013 in Lagos, really bringing back to the Nigerian roots. And one thing that has really caught the eye of so many people is this Queen Idia hat right here. I love it personally because a lot of the hats come backless. It allows your natural crown to shine through and has satin lining as well, so it really takes care of your hair. But it's also paying homage to a great queen of the Benin and Nigerian culture as well. So you can check out Coded Signature at coded with a K, signature.com, or on Facebook and Instagram at Coded Signature. Again, that's coded with a K. And when you purchase, you can actually get a 10% discount using the code at checkout, GBKM. So you put in GBKM at checkout and you can get yourself a 10% discount. Plus, they ship everywhere, worldwide delivery, so no worries about the location. You can pick up your accessories and Afrocentric apparel at codedsignature.com. Again, that's coded with a K. Now, this is another week of the Chat Up Show, and of course, I have some more COVID-19 updates for you just really quickly. There are some new regulations that have been put in effect in Ontario, our beloved province, and especially in our hometown of Toronto. So as of last weekend now, bars, restaurants are closing earlier, so they have to be closed at midnight for dine-in services, and last call will be at 11 p.m. So those are some new changes just to help really reduce the spread of COVID in the province, within the province. And, you know, since restaurants and bars were open for dine-in services, it's not that they're completely going away, it's just that you can't stay out until 2 a.m. ordering food anymore. Of course, this brought up some restrictions from people. Some folks weren't happy about these new regulations. We did see about hundreds of protesters come out this past weekend to protest lockdown and the mask regulations and the restrictions of COVID-19. So we are seeing some of our Torontonians come downtown. We saw that this weekend, go to the Yonge and Dundas Square to protest these regulations for lockdown of COVID-19. Of course, it's been over about a month since we were originally put on lockdown, so people may be getting a little tired of these restrictions, but it's also important to be realistic and recognize that this is something that we're probably going to have to deal with for just a little bit longer. So the better we are at adhering to these precautions, the better and quicker we can hopefully return to whatever life normalcy we have been missing so far. So those are just some of your updates, just to remind you that most dining services across the province will now end at midnight. So plan accordingly. But today, we actually have a special guest joining us virtually in studios. This woman has a new book coming out. The book is called A Woman in Her War Room, which is launching October 10th. Author is just one of her accomplishments. She is also a peace ambassador for WOLMI, which is an NGO with special consultative status to the UNESCO or UN ECOSC. She's also a philanthropist, a motivational speaker, an ordained minister. Joining us from Alberta, please welcome Her Excellency Apostle Elizabeth Pedro. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you doing today?
Well, thank you. You?
Good, I can't hear. No, I can't hear. So we're just going to need to hear you speak up a little bit so that we can all hear you there. How are you doing today?
Oh, doing great. Thank you for having me.
So glad you could join us today. Now, I do want to dive into your book, A Woman in Her War Room. Now, first of all, I just want to talk about that title. What inspired that title? And then, of course, what later inspired you to write this book?
Oh, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
And actually, a woman in her war room. Because, first of all, I want to say, what is war? War is a conflict between two or three countries. So, people usually think about war as a battle or fight between nations and countries. But actually, at the end of it, I take a look at the lifestyle of many women. So when women fight their battle in their marriage, in their home, that is war because it's a conflict that also take lives. You can agree with me that many women are losing their life as a result of abuse today in our community, in our society. So I picked that name to draw attention to the war that women are fighting in their home.
So then what then that I'm assuming is also part of the reason you decided to write the book itself as well.
Yeah, because I am into women empowerment, I love empowering women because when you empower women, you give them voice, you build their self-esteem. So a woman in her war room is one way I feel like I can empower the women by opening their eyes to see that there is a battle that every woman fight every day. And in the process, many women lose their life in the process of fighting this war.
So would you say this book then also gives women the tools to be able to empower themselves and to fight whichever war they're dealing with personally, financially?
Yes, because if uh, in this book you are able to understand that there is war, you'll be able to know how to fight the war. Then what happened in the war room? I call it war room. How will you identify there is a war? Because if you don't identify that there is a war, the enemy is at war, there is no way you can prepare to fight the battle. So first of all, this book will help women to understand the type of war they fight in their marriage, in their businesses, in their home, in their community. So then also we help them to prepare for the war in their war room and how they can win the war in their war room.
So what is a war room then?
Yeah, I use that name war room. For example, I use a lady, Anna. Anna was a woman that was childless. Anna was facing a battle and she doesn't know what to do. But because Anna knows where to take her water, which is a prayer room, Anna went on her knee and prayed when she was facing those challenges. So she know where to take her water. She know where to fight the battle. And she takes it to prayer and God answer Anna. For example, a woman with the issue of blood. The woman suffered for 12 years because she did not acknowledge that there is a war. For example, a teenager that is growing up in the northern part of Nigeria today, we have seen it in social media where 14 years old girl is being given out in marriage. So again, that is a war that the little girl have to fight because she's the one to face the battle. She's the one that will be pushed into the war. She's the one that will fight and struggle. Along the line, most of them lose their life. Most of them die along the line because they do not understand that there is a battle, that there is a war. Because when you say war, people are looking for enemy. They look outside of their home to look for the enemy. Why the enemy is actually in the house fighting you. So you have to be able to understand a woman that is facing abuse in her marriage, that is a war. They don't know who to speak to. They don't know when to talk. They don't know how to talk about it. So they keep quiet. They keep the silent. Many women die in silence.
That's interesting. Now, I I'd heard of War Room before from the movie War Room, where it was talking about how this woman had befriended her older neighbor who told her about the importance of having a prayer room, a place that she can go to essentially also fight these battles. Now, you say, or at least on the website where people can actually pre-order the book at www.serenitycoachingservices.ca, it also says every woman needs a war room because the life we live in general is a heavy project. Can you discuss that a little bit more with us and why you felt that this was the sentence or phrase to really encapsulate the purpose of the book?
That we live in is a battle, is a war. We fight every day. Everybody want to look good. Everybody want to be successful. But we have to acknowledge the fact that we fight this war every day. As I said before, if the woman with the issue of blood were not able to understand that there is a situation, because if you don't acknowledge situation, you are not going to look for solution. So until, first of all, to acknowledge the situation, we help you to seek for help or look for solution. So the woman in her war room, a woman fighting her war, we know where to take her war to. We know where to take the battle to. Because it's like going to battlefield without no ammunition. You go with empty hands. So no one does that. So the women have to know, to be equipped on how to fight their battle, on how to survive and succeed in this world that we live in. Because women are facing challenges every day because of the place that the society put the women. So through this book, actually, the woman will be able to understand the origin of a woman, the purpose of a woman. Why did God create said woman in the first place? So if they understand that, then the women will be able to understand what happened in the Garden of Eden. Then the women will be able to understand, because there is three phrases there. Who is a woman to her husband? And who is a woman to the society? Who is a woman to God? So if the society can see the women from the perspective of God, then things will actually change. So this book is an eye-opener on how men, women, the society, the community, the nation can actually see women in their original purpose.
So would you call this book a self-help book then?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will call it that, because that is why I'm not stopping in first edition. By the grace of God, second edition will be coming up after this, but not soon, but it is going to be up. To actually help. My goal is not just to sell the book. My goal is to be able to use this book as a part of empowering women, because I believe in empowerment for sustainability. When they start read this book, it will actually change life and to sustain the women and help them to stand out independently and to build their self-esteem.
So then why do you think that it's important to openly discuss the struggles and the fact that women do go through these wars and battles, and why it's important to be open about that specifically?
Yeah, it is very important to discuss that openly, because the Bible says iron sharpen iron, become more sharper. So sometimes it is good to discuss for people to also learn from it. I know so many negative things are going on in the society, so many negative things. And when we talk about abuse, the whole world focus on men abusing women. There is more to that. If I want to go into that, there is more to that. It's not only men abusing the women. Women are abusing women in our society today.
That is something that I do want to get into a little bit later on. But before we get there, there is the book launch that's happening for your book as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how people can join in, tune in?
Yeah, we're having the book, the virtual launching on the 10th of October, which is next week, Saturday, 10 a.m. Ed meeting time, 12 noon Toronto time, and that will be 5 p.m. UK and Nigeria and Europe time. So people can actually join. Please, if they can check me up on my Facebook page, Liz Pedro Olia Omoha is right there, and also Elizabeth Pedro at Serenity Coaching Services.ca. Again, Elizabeth Pedro at Serenity Coaching Services.ca. So they can actually go through in there and join the virtual. But those that live in Edmonton, we are having the indoor launching on the same day at 7 p.m. here in Edmonton at Ramadan Hotel, west end of Edmonton. For more details, they can see it on my page at fanny2000.com as well. And also, they can also reach me at 780-999-4183. I repeat, 780-999-4183, so that we can send them a link to log in and be part of this great launching. But if they want to order the book, we have the page where the people can actually pre-order the book right now. I actually have a discount going on right now. If they order the book today, they will be getting 20% discount from it.
Okay, so if you go to serenitycoachingservices.ca, you can pre-order the book A Woman in Her War Room and receive 20% off the order as well if you pre-order today. Yes.
To end here in the room.
So
This is the book.
there's the book, great, the book cover, A Woman in Her War Room. That's great. Now, I do want to discuss a little bit about what to expect for the Zoom launch as well, the virtual launch that will be happening. Will there be a few pages read from the book? What can viewers expect?
Yeah, a few pages will be read of the book. I have people that will be actually that have read the book. I have one of my friends, the senator from Republic of Kenya. She has read almost the book, so she endorsed the book. She will be speaking about the book as well, and few other people.
Okay, great. That's great. So October 10th is the official launch date for A Woman in Her War Room. If you would like to pre-order the book, you can pre-order at www.serenitycoachingservices.ca. So I do want to trail back a little bit more to talk about women empowerment, especially through this book, and why it's so important to you personally to empower other women by using your literary services or even your motivational speaking, your philanthropy work as well. Why is women empowerment so important to you?
Yeah, thank you. So women empowerment is very, very important to me. I believe, as I said before, I believe in sustainability because it is good to give food to people, to give fish to people, but I've always believed that it's better to teach them how to fish. Because when somebody keep giving you food, when somebody keep giving you money, you are not like a slave to that person. So I love to free people and I want them to be independent, to speak for themselves. When they are financially buoyant, when you empower a woman, then you have given strength to the woman, you have given voice to the woman. Again, you have boosted the woman's self-esteem. So that is why I believe in empowering women with my book and many other things that I do.
And would you say that it's important to have someone there that can be the voice for those who are often voiceless? You know, some people may not feel comfortable voicing the battles or wars that they're going through, but if they see someone else or hear another story of someone else going through something similar, would you say that gives them also the confidence, from your experience especially, the confidence to be able to speak up for themselves later?
Yes, it does. It helps a lot. Because of the way the society plays the women, first of all, and some of the background, you will see some women, there are still some culture today where the women cannot speak when the husband speaks,
Yeah.
where the women cannot come out in the midst of people and just talk. So some women, many women die in silence. I see them every day by the grace of God. I have an organization by His grace. We are in Nigeria. By the grace of God, this year, this month, as we speak, about a month or two, we have also launched our organization in Kenya. We are trying to reach out to the women in grassroots, women in rural area, women who has no access to internet. You know, women who have no access to Wi-Fi that cannot come on this platform. That is why I make it a point of contact. The book I'm launching, after the launching, I will be sending 50 to 100 books to Nigeria to send out to the women in the grassroots. The same thing will be going to Kenya to empower the women there. So it's always good to have somebody. When you say empowerment, there is something I see about Nigerian or African people. When we say empowerment, people run to you and start looking, waiting for you to give them money. It's so sad. They think that you are just coming there to share money. But again, the mindset of the people need to be changed. That is why I do a lot of conferences, and thank God for I know the pandemic has come. I'm the type that always take advantage of any situation. Though there is a pandemic, but I believe this is happening. I believe there is God that will also make a way in this time. There is something positive that will actually come out of this. So by the time we are able to reach out more to the people in the rural area, to have their mindsets change, it will help the women along. It will help people along. So like over here in Edmonton, I teach women. I teach women, I teach Bible college, I teach classes, and I coach women, I do counseling. I've been doing it for a very long time. So even as a pastor, it's not just only stay in the altar preaching, but again, I step out of there to reach them one-on-one. Thank God for Zoom. Before this pandemic, I've been using Zoom for meetings for almost 2 years now. One-on-one meetings, I bring them on Zoom, empower them, educate them. I have seen women that doesn't speak before. I have seen them right now understanding who they really are, bringing out the best out of them, because every man and woman have a gift in their DNA, in their immune system. The day God created us, there is a potential in every one of us. So I so much believe that. I've been in a place where I go look for job for women, going to places to help them look for job. I've been in a place where women don't have job and they don't know what to do. I will step up, and I always use my office, my position, any gift that God gave me. And that is one of the reasons I believe that God has taken me this far, and He's still taking me, because He knows that whatever He gave me, it's not going to die within me. He knows that I use it to reach out to other people, to equip them, to prepare them, to empower them as well.
Now, as a pastor, would you say that religion has also contributed to how society has evolved when it comes to speaking of women's issues or even relating to women's issues?
I would say yes. Reason being, I was born to be a pastor. So my God created me, and I know before I was born, He already have everything planned out. Everything is just falling in place at His own time, because time and season is in the hands of God. Because when I look at my life, I backtrack my life, since I grow up to know what is good and bad, I have seen myself being in that place of helping people, empowering them. I find joy. People that really know me from all over the world, they know that that is who I am. Your problem become my problem. When there is a problem, I don't think about the problem, I think about the solution. So when somebody comes to me, I have been in a place where women, young girls growing up are telling me, Mama, for me, I'm not going to marry because men are this. I've been in a place of bringing them together, educating them, telling them the importance of marriage. No matter what the world is saying today, the Bible says marriage is honorable in the sight of God. But again, if you look at the book of Luke, again, he said we have to possess the same possession, because Jesus did not just come to preach, he feed the hunger. He recommends charity. Why did Jesus come? Because he loves us. For God so loved the world, he sent the only begotten Son. So love is charity. Love is giving. So practicing love and giving love is a mandate, is one of our priority as a Christian. So as an apostle, those names just come up to add on, to show where you are. So why do you give a child a name? You give a child name. You give birth to a child, you give that child name. The name go according to the purpose and the plan of God with the child.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. And then we will be back joined again with Her Excellency Apostle Elizabeth Pedro. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone. Just stay calm, cause even if you choose or not to.
My child, recite the words of this ancient mythology. The wisdom I disperse in this verse, no apology. Memorized to keep you from evil theology. For you, the dark Kahiyya denied your equality. See, for generations we perpetrated psychology. Divide and conquer each other, really lynch policy. You cannot build each other up, how will you build economy?
Hello, welcome back to the Chat Up Show. I'm your host, Elizabeth Lloydie, and that was just a message from our sponsor, Coded Signature. Again, if you want to get 10% off at checkout on codedsignature.com, use the code GBKM for 10% off. Now, we are joined today by Her Excellency Apostle Elizabeth Pedro, who is coming out with her new book, A Woman in Her War Room, which is launching officially October 10th, but you can still pre-order the book today and get a 20% discount off the book total at serenitycoachingservices.ca. So again, you can pre-order the book now at www.serenitycoachingservices.ca. Now, Elizabeth, we were discussing a little bit more about what women empowerment felt for you and the importance of it, and how even being a pastor, the importance of spreading love was monumental and foundational to the work that you were doing within your community. And in that, love, I guess you could call agape love as well, which is in the name of one of your philanthropy works, your great foundation, the Afani Foundation. Could we talk a little bit about the inspiration behind founding and starting this foundation?
Thank you. The foundation was actually established legally in 2018. But as a matter of fact, for over 20 years of my life, I have been doing that. I've empowered people a lot. For example, in my church, if there are women in the church who are having difficulties, I usually meet with them one-on-one. I usually educate them, empower them, teach them the path of life. I have seen young girls who never believe in marriages getting married after my advice. I have seen somebody who impregnated a woman and was trying to take the girl out for abortion. I was be able to step on it and say, why do you want abortion? Because the guy wasn't ready for marriage yet. I'm still too young to have my baby, and I was able to step into that situation several times, and I will see that they have the baby. Today, when I see those kids, it gives me joy because I was able to stop the abortion process at that time, and many of the kids have grown up now. I've been doing that for a very long time, and I've been in a place where women need help and they don't know what to do. I will be able to counsel them. I'll be able to help them. So again, doing all that, when I moved to Edmonton, by the grace of God, 6 years ago, because I used to live in Toronto, I school in Toronto. So when I came here, I see so many community, the women, they don't have basic education and all that. I see the impact. Then I started working with them one-on-one. I have been in that place where a woman was able to help her to go through even driving school here, teaching one-on-one to read the driving book exam. And she actually went to the exam. She passed the exam because as a pastor, I would drive my car, pick her to church, but I was able to help her to be independent by preparing her, going to the registry, buying the book, studying with her. She went to the exam, she passed the exam. Today, she drives herself along the city. Those things give me joy. That is who I am. Mm-hmm. So I was doing it within my family members, but it's not only for my family, it's not only for Christian. I just believe that if we give what we have, because the art of giving is not only giving money to the needy, it's act of kindness, it's act of generosity to others. Charity doesn't have to be about money. It can be whatever you have to give as a Christian. So that is why when any woman is sick in my network, I will call them. I will reach out to them. I will give them advice, you know. So that is what I do. I do those empowerment. I'm telling you, for some reason, the more I do it, the more I find joy. Yeah. The more I do it, the more I am excited, you know. So from there, somebody called me and said, why didn't you register this thing that you're doing? You'll be doing it in Edmonton here. Every Saturday, we put our table with my group. There are people on the street who doesn't have home. We give them food. We do all that. That is why one of the things that is bothering me now in this time of COVID-19. Yeah. So anytime they see me stepping out of my church now, you will see them coming and say, Pastor, no food. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, because of the pandemic, we are not allowed to. It hurts me a lot. So I was doing that every Saturday here in downtown Edmonton, the front of the church. And the name of the church is Great Shepherd Ministry, located in downtown of Edmonton. Me and my team on Saturday, we put, I'm telling you, no donation from anywhere. We put whatever we have, and God bless the women that believe in my vision. That is another part, other part of it. We put money together, we buy pop, we buy snacks, we put it on the table. You see them coming, oh, thank you, thank you. They will take it. In the morning, if you're coming to the church, we have a table set up. If church starts at 10:30, 9:30 a.m., my team are already there with breakfast, tea, snack on the table. So those that are coming, they already take some breakfast there. I'm talking about people that, I don't want to use that word homeless, because we believe that God is our covering. But again, I'm talking about people who don't have a place to actually cook, you know. So I do that a lot until Afani was launched in 2018. Agape for All Nations. It's not perfect yet. I'm still looking for the platform for sustainability. Yes. How we can actually sustain the people, give hand to the people, then they will be independent. Because I believe, I come out with something like pyramid of trade, I draw it out, that if I empower two people, for example, to be able to be financially independent, and those two people go down and empower another two, before a year or 2 years, we will see that we have been able to empower more people, and we have been able to give voice to the voiceless.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of the idea of sustainability, I mean, women empowerment is something, at least for my lifetime, has been part of who I am and what I've grown up hearing about. Why do you think that it's still taking so long for it to just be the norm? Like, it shouldn't have to be something that needs to be put in, like have so much work put into it. It should be something that we just generally, all communities empower each individual as much as they can? Why do you think society is still playing catch up when it comes to women especially?
Yeah, but I believe that with the United Nations, within the 17 goals, women empowerment, sustainability, poverty elevation is part of the goal. And the goal for 2030 is already on ground, and there are so many platforms. Again, to empower people, we need to come together. I have my organization, AFANI, Agape for All Nations. I came up with, when I look at Africa country, it takes me time to study, to look at what to bring up. Then I came up with the idea of solar kiosks. Solar kiosks allow women to do their business without electricity interruption in Africa. So last year, we started it last year without no sponsor. Yeah, because again, I want to empower women. And I can't do it all by myself. And I didn't get donation from anyone putting money, because I see sometimes they do that, put money into somebody's account and all that. But again, if we are empowering people, you don't want to render somebody else useless to empower another person. Right? So coming together is going to continue. It's not going to stop. Even a child that is not that was born today or born yesterday, we still grow up to pew into this vision of empowering women. But we have to start thinking of, because what I have seen or heard in Africa is that they just give out money, 10,000, 20,000. The same women will come up again next year. So my own is different, because I don't just share money. Even if I give you money, like 2 years ago, we came up with one idea of giving more business money to some people. Again, I'll follow them to their business place. Then I will pay for their business so that money becomes their capital. Again, if we do that, because if you just give them cash, I've been in a situation whereby I give capital to somebody. She went home and gave the money to the husband. And she didn't do her business. We have empowered somebody who just opened up a business, sent out the picture of the business in my WhatsApp. 2 months later, I traveled there. I went to that business place. She wasn't there. She closed her shop. Take the money.
Yeah.
You get, so sustainability is very important, and empowerment is not going to stop. I encourage everybody, if you are in any platform and you see that you can do it, but one thing I want to state clearly here, everybody cannot do empowerment. You can't see because people are doing women empowerment, I want to do it. You have to be in you. You have to be built up in you, that is part of you. You understand? So that is the only way that you have that passion for it. That is the only way you can do it, and you will not faint, because the Lord is our strength. But no amount of money will be enough to do this empowerment. But by the grace of God, we continue to move from strength to strength. I grew up in Nigeria. I know what it is to live in Nigeria. I love my people. I grew up in Edo State. I am from Edo State. I have seen women die because of inability to pay 2,000 naira for hospital bills. I've seen a mother losing her child to appendix because of 4,000 naira deposit in the hospital when I was growing up, So all those things have built up together in my passion to empower women to be independent.
And it's really about providing them the tools and the skills to be able to continue about the sustainability. It's not just a one-time thing. It's helping them be able to continue on in life with these tools that they can hopefully then share with others. But if anything else, be able to help build themselves up, especially.
Yeah, because you have to teach them how to actually build themselves up. That is what I said. Then when you build them up, you give them the tools, you give them the equipment, you give them the empowerment that they need. Those are the things we have to do, not just giving financial cash.
Yeah.
That is not sustainability. You just give food to somebody, like Jesus feed the 5,000, the hunger with food right there. that was not for sustenance. They just feed them at that moment. But again, looking at that, we have to understand that by empowering women again, so we encourage the women around us, make them feel special, let them feel independent, encourage them to do things for themselves, to speak up for themselves. And when you give them the tools, give them the privileges to make use of the gift and the talent that they have.
So how would you then advise people who may be inspired to help join your cause, help to empower and help other women who have the passion for it, they just don't know which way to go about it?
Yeah, if like right now I have something that I'm putting together, women versus women, right? Because I said before, when you say abuse, they look at men, that men are abusing women. Honestly, it's not only men, women are abusing women. I'm looking for a group of people that have the same mindset. Because if you ask me, one of the challenges that I actually have in this program that I am doing is to have somebody that have the same vision with you. Like-minded person that believe in what you believe on, that can actually cue into the vision. So if we have a group, like you said, you heard about empowerment. There are other women that do empowerment. If we are able to come together, first of all, with the mind of giving back to the people, because it's so sad that when people are thinking about empowerment of this, they think about what they can gain out of it. So there are a few women that wanted to join me last year. What I was hearing was, what is my gain? In Nigeria, I put up a team together. One of the team members write me and said, what is going to be my profit? I said, I don't have no profit for you. If you have passion to give back to the society, immediately I will have from my team. And she called and said, what do you remove me? I said, because you don't have the vision that I have. My vision, first of all, is how to give out, not how to get. Though she apologized, but that already tell me who she was, So if we have people like that as a team to come together and put a project out to reach out to the people, government alone cannot do it. The government need us, we need them. And it's not only in Nigeria. Here in Ed Meeting, up to date, I empower women here. I do coaching online, counseling online. I get calls, even as I'm talking now, I have 17 missed calls coming already. Women that are calling on a daily basis on how they can do if they have situation. Apart from calling me for prayer, I thank God that I'm always also there to give them advice, counsel that will help them. I don't just give them counsel to do what I cannot do. I'm a leader that tell people to practice what I do, because I can't tell you to do something when I'm doing the opposite. I live by example, I give by example, I do things by example.
It's really about practicing what you preach, right?
Yes.
Now, this women versus women, it's definitely a discussion that I myself have had a few times about how we are often standing in our own way when it comes to empowering other women around us. Now, I wanna hear a little bit more about what your take on this women versus women is.
Yeah, I call it women versus women, because when a man wants to abuse his wife, he used the fellow women. Imagine a young girl growing up. Imagine a girl that is so young and pretty. We understand and see a man that is happily married with a wife, with kids. The girl will still go ahead and have relationship with the man. So when a man wants to abuse a woman, he uses the fellow woman to abuse another woman. So I'm coming up with a project to help in that empowerment, to raise awareness on women that are abusing their fellow women. Because the Bible says, whatever you sow, you shall reap. Anything you sow in somebody else's marriage, trust me, it's going to turn back again tomorrow to haunt you. And when that happens, they say they need to be empowered. You see that? So again, there are things that need to be talked about. So that we have to start from those foundations to empower women to establish there. If a woman that is married with the husband living together, and tomorrow the man brought in another woman, using another woman to send that woman out of the house, and the woman put her place in that position to be used as an instrument to shut down the joy and the peace in another woman's life. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Evil, good begot evil is good, but when evil start begetting evil, it's going to be worst in our society and in our community. So my message to the women, to the young girls, is please know that you are wonderfully made. You got the potential. You got what it takes to be who God wants you to be. Do not force yourself into married men to be in that position, and do not be the reason why another woman lost her marriage, another woman is depressed, or even commits suicide. And secondly, I also want to draw this attention to women that are abusing women on social media. Please don't. The Bible says life and death is in the power of our tongue. We have to be mindful of what we say to one another. Because when a student go to class to write exam, maybe 120 students write exam, at the end of the day, we have to wait for the result. Until the result is out, some student will be bragging, oh, I know I answered question 1, 2, 3. While some students will keep quiet and be looking, they are waiting for the result. So why did I use that parable? God has the final say. Don't look at somebody and write that person up and say, this person is done. She's over. She can't get anywhere anymore. I believe that every woman on earth can actually get to the height they want to get to, if they get the right tools and if they get the right person to help, to support them, to uplift them. And if we continue to uplift one another, I always use this phrase: when you put your hand on somebody and stop that person there, you are stuck. But when you help somebody to uplift, as you are uplifting that person, you are uplifting yourself. As you are encouraging that person, you are encouraging yourself. So it is always good for women to empower women, women to encourage women. I want to open the eyes of the women to this aspect of life that they are not seeing. Women are abusing women every day.
I mean, we see it on social media, honestly. I see it a lot, that women are quick to attack each other or call each other out of their name instead of trying to do it out of love. Now, a lot of people can say that women do it to men as well, but when we're talking specifically about where women, we have similar things that we all go through, we can relate to one another on this level. Being part of the problem is not helping the cause. And by being part of the problem, I mean also abusing or shaming or belittling other women in whichever way you can, verbally, physically, via technology, whichever way, doesn't help to empower yourself or empower the woman either.
It's very, very interesting. Today they're talking about gender equality. Gender equality is good. But again, we have to understand that if a woman stand up, become an instrument, become a tool that another man use or another woman use to abuse the fellow woman, we have to understand that there is no amount of empowerment we are going to give to such people. They are not going to be sustained. Because here I'm talking about long-term sustainability, economic growth, social progress, sustainable development, politically, socially, culturally, economically. Because if I am from Nigeria, from Edo State, I know my culture, I know where I came from. If you don't believe in where I came from, you don't believe in me, it is not enough reason for you to abuse me. So it is always good to accept everyone. That is why I so much thank God, and I think women like me are very rare, because in my team, I have like 11 to 12 nationalities right now that I am working with. I have Kenya. I just told you that my organization reached Kenya. My goal in the next 5 years is to hit 10 Africa countries. Kenya is already launched, Zimbabwe, Sudan is there. We are like Liberia is there, Cameroon is there. I have all of them in my team. I tell you, when we meet together, it looks as if we came from the same family and the same background. Why? I teach them to accept one another. Because even if you give birth to two child, they are not going to have the same ideology. They are not going to believe in the same thing. So because of that, we have to accept each other for who we are, no matter the background, the cultural, the whatever we believe. We have to accept each other for who we are, love for one another. And I see it working. I teach, and when I teach with all my heart, passion for what I do. I teach with impartation. That is what I do. I don't just speak, I speak from my heart. You will see it when I'm educating the women. You will see that it's coming from my heart. I give in my best. I put in everything to impart them. So by the time we are able to accept each other, if I tell you that somebody from Kenya is with me every day, somebody from Zimbabwe, somebody from Sierra Leone, somebody from Cameroon, somebody from Sudan, somebody from Congo, from Ghana. We are all together as a team here in Edmonton. You get it? So that is where most of the abuse takes place. Discrimination.
Yeah.
So if we accept each other for who we are, knowing that one person created all of us, we don't have to be judgmental. That will help us a lot. If we have a long way to go as a woman, instead of saying, oh, she's from this place, oh, she's from this country. No, let women understand that we are made for signs and wonder, that they have the gifts and the potential.
And that we should embrace the differences as well, right?
A married woman will sit in her couch as I'm sitting right now. We'll be thinking of the husband at work, the kids are in school, thinking about her job, thinking about the next bill that needs to be paid, thinking about the dinner. They will even go far in a minute, think about a plan for the whole month and the whole year for the family. What do you think that is? That is a talent. That is a talent. That is a gift that they can actually put together to become somebody in life.
But would everyone have that talent, or is it exclusive, would you say?
I tell you, everyone have it. Okay, like for example, I had to do counseling for somebody who doesn't believe in relationship anymore, but she once has a relationship and the relationship break up. She's very young. She want to live her life like that. So by the time I started with her, letting her know why she needs to be reconnected again, right? Then the answer to her question lies within her. So if you want to know that women really have gifts and potential, sit with them one-on-one and start talking. You will hear it. When we talk about the entrepreneurial, because that's another side of things that I do, you will see that to become entrepreneur is a skill that is built in between you. Every woman have the potential. Every woman has the gifts. Every woman has the calling. But they just have to acknowledge it.
So then what, in a perfect world, what does women empowerment look like in a sustainable measure? What would it look like if every woman on this earth was empowering themselves and empowering each other and had the skills and the tools to continue to grow positively in society?
Every woman in the society can stand up and empower and a fellow woman. Again, they are not just going to be to achieve that sustainability, but it will improve the women's status. Respect for women's rights and contributions to our society will increase. Okay, so now women will be able to engage in some places that women are not allowed to step up and speak. Women have that nurturing heart. That is why men cannot get pregnant and have baby. It's only women that will get pregnant, keep the baby pregnancy for 9 months, and bring the baby out. Why? Because they have that passion of nursing. So if a woman become a president of the country, what do you think will happen? She will be a mother to that country. Fathers are good, they are great. I will not leave them behind. I celebrate all the men and the father in the world. They do their best. Their focus is how to make money and take care of their family. While the mother will be how to take care of them and nurture them. So if women, we are able to encourage one another, we are able to support our fellow women, economically, we are going to grow. Socially, we are going to be okay. Politically, we will be given privileges to operate, to be in the government and speak, to be the voice of the people. And we are able to influence the world, our community, our society, our family. We'll be able to advocate for ourselves. It's very, very important.
Wow. Well, on that note, I hate to say it, but we're going to have to let you go. But before you go, just to remind everyone that they can pre-order your book, A Woman in Her War Room, now at www.serenitycoachingservices.ca. And you can join the official virtual book launch on October 10th via Zoom. And again, how can people tune in?
Yeah, that is via Zoom. It's on my website at www.afani2000.com. So there will be a link on my website. There will be a link on my Facebook page. Just look for Liz Pedro on Facebook. There will be a link there. But again, if the fastest way is to call this number 780-999-4183. Then a link will be sent to you. You have to register to be part of the virtual launching on the 10th of October. Pre-order the book right now. After on the 10th, the book will be mailed out because the book is hard copy. I have it here with me. I'll be able to send it anywhere in the world through DHL and other regular posting.
Okay, wonderful. Now that concludes the show for today. Again, as always, it was so nice chatting with you today. And thank you so much, Your Excellency Elizabeth, for joining us today as well and talking to us about women empowerment and discussing your new book, A Woman in Her War Room. For all the women who are in need of the tools and skills to empower themselves to deal with whichever battles they're facing, again, you can pre-order that book at www.serenitycoachingservice.ca. But as always, you know that you can keep up with the GBKM network in various ways. You know that you can listen live 24/7 at www.gbkm.fm. You can like, share, comment, subscribe on Facebook and YouTube at GBKM TV. You can follow us on Instagram at GBKM-FM and Twitter at GBKM_FM. And again, you can check out our sponsors, Coded Signature, for that 10% off deal as well at Coded Signature. Again, that's coded with a K. CodedSignature.com, where you can purchase the different Afrocentric apparels and accessories. And again, for the 10% off, you use the code GBKM at checkout. And you can follow me, your host, Elizabeth Aloidi, on Instagram and Twitter at TIS_Liz_O. Again, that's TIS_Liz_O. And I will see you guys at the same time, same place next week. I can't wait to chat with you then. Take care.
Do you know who you are? What is your name?
Sometimes you wonder why and wonder how. Don't be alone. Just stay calm, cause even if you choose or not to.
My child, recite the words of this ancient mythology. The wisdom I disperse in this verse, no apology. Memorize to keep you from evil theology. For you, the darker hue, you denied your equality. See, for generations we perpetrated psychology. Divide and conquer each other, really lynch policy. You cannot build each other up, how will you build economy?